At my baby shower, my sister announced I should be the mother, not you. I deserve this baby more. Everyone left until she pulled out a lawyer's card and said, I'm taking custody. My husband's response made her regret everything instantly. I never thought I'd have to defend my right to be a mother at my own baby shower, but life has a funny way of throwing punches when you least expect them. A little background: my sister, let's call her Claire, has always been the golden child in my parents' eyes. She was the pretty one, the smart one, the one who got praised for every little thing she did while I was just there. I worked hard for everything I had, never expected handouts, and learned early on that if I wanted something, I had to fight for it. Claire, on the other hand, expected life to be served to her on a silver platter. She had always wanted to be a mom. She used to play house and talk about having a big family, but life didn't go the way she planned. She married young, divorced young, and after years of trying, she found out she couldn't have kids. That crushed her, and I felt for her. I really did. I was there when she got the news. I held her while she cried. I listened when she vented. I comforted her through all of it, but I never, not in a million years, thought she would try to steal my baby. The shower from hell. I was 7 months pregnant when my husband and I hosted our baby shower. It was supposed to be a beautiful day, a celebration. Friends, family, cake, laughter, the works. Claire was there, of course. She'd been acting a little off for weeks, but I figured she was just emotional. I understood. But then, as we were opening gifts, she stood up, tapped her glass, and said she had an announcement. I just want to say something, Claire started, smiling. I know we're all so excited about this little baby, and I just wanted to share something special, something life-changing. I expected her to say she was moving, or maybe that she was starting a new job. I never expected the next words out of her mouth. I should be the mother, not you. I deserve this baby more. At first people laughed, because who says that at a baby shower? It had to be a joke, right? Wrong. Claire kept talking. I've always wanted to be a mother, she said, looking at me like I was the one being unreasonable. And we all know how much I've struggled. So after thinking long and hard, I've decided to do what's best for this baby. I've spoken to a lawyer, and I'm filing for custody. She reached into her purse and pulled out a business card. Dead silence. I looked at my husband, he looked at me. Our friends and family stared at Claire like she had just ripped off her face to reveal an alien underneath. My mom gasped. My dad rubbed his temples like he had a migraine forming. Someone whispered, "Is she serious?" She was. I've already started the process, Claire continued, like she was doing me a favor. It's nothing personal, but I can provide a better life for this baby. You and your husband, she waved her hand, you both work too much. You don't have the maternal instinct I do. I was born to be a mother. You, she shook her head, you were just lucky. I was speechless. But my husband? Oh, he was not. My husband's response that shut her down now. My husband is the kind of guy who stays calm under pressure. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't get rattled. But at that moment, he stood up, looked Claire dead in the eyes and said, "You're out of your damn mind." He walked up to her, took the lawyer's card from her hand and ripped it in half. You think you can just take our baby? You think a judge is going to look at a stable, loving couple and say, you know what? Let's hand the baby over to the delusional aunt instead. You have lost it. Claire's face turned red. I have every right. No, you don't, my husband shot back. You have no legal grounds, no case, no claim. You are not entitled to our child just because you want one. She opened her mouth to argue, but my husband wasn't finished. You've just admitted publicly in front of dozens of witnesses that you planned this, that you think you deserve to take someone else's baby. Do you have any idea how unhinged that sounds? Claire's eyes darted around the room like she was realizing in real time how insane she sounded. People were shaking their heads. My mom was crying. My dad looked like he wanted to disappear into the floor. Then my husband delivered the final blow. You should leave right now. And before you even think about following through with this, let me warn you, we have a lawyer too. A very good one. And if you come anywhere near my wife, my child, or our family with this ridiculous lawsuit, we will bury you in legal fees. I will make sure you lose more than just this case. Do you understand me? Claire's face went white. For the first time in her life she had no comeback, no excuse, no golden child privilege to save her. She grabbed her purse and stormed out, slamming the door behind her. The fallout, the party was ruined obviously. People left in awkward silence. My parents apologized over and over. My mom was devastated, sobbing about how she had no idea Claire would do something like this. My dad just kept shaking his head, muttering, I should have seen this coming. As for Claire, she went radio silent for weeks. I honestly thought she was embarrassed enough to drop it. I was wrong, because a month later, I got a letter in the mail from her lawyer. She was actually suing for custody. But that's a whole other story. The lawsuit that shook our family. I wish I could say that Claire realized how ridiculous she was being and backed off. That she took a long look in the mirror and thought, wow, Maybe trying to steal my sister's baby is insane. But no, that would be too easy. Instead, she doubled down. A month after the baby shower disaster, a letter arrived. A formal legal document from Claire's lawyer. She was actually suing us for custody. My hand shook as I read through it. My husband grabbed the papers, flipping through them with a look of pure rage. The lawsuit claimed I was mentally unfit to be a mother, that my husband was too aggressive to raise a child, that we had a high-stress household, and that Claire could provide a better and safer environment. I almost left. I had never been diagnosed with any mental health issues. My husband was the calmest person I knew. And our home? Safe, stable, happy. This was pure insanity. Claire's web of lies. We immediately contacted our lawyer, who took one look at the lawsuit and said, "This is garbage." That should have made me feel better. But the real problem wasn't the lawsuit, it was Claire's delusions. Claire wasn't just suing us, she was building a whole case against us, telling anyone who would listen that I was neglecting my unborn baby, that I was stressed out all the time and unstable. She started spinning lies to family, friends, even my coworkers. "I just want to help," she would say, fake tears in her eyes. "She's not ready for motherhood. She's going to struggle, and the baby will suffer." My boss even pulled me aside one day and said, "Hey, your sister has been telling people some things. Are you okay?" I was furious. Claire was painting me as an unfit mother before I had even given birth, and she wasn't done. The CPS visit one afternoon, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find two people standing there, Child Protective Services. My stomach dropped. "Ma'am," one of them said, "we've received a report of child endangerment. We need to ask you some questions." I almost passed out. I was 7 months pregnant. The baby wasn't even born yet. What child was I supposedly endangering? But Claire had reported me anyway, claiming I was already showing dangerous behavior that put my unborn baby at risk. I let them in. They asked questions. They checked the house. They saw that everything was perfectly fine. After an hour they apologized and left, saying there was no case. But that wasn't the point. The point was that Claire had done this at all. She was trying to make me look like a monster. My husband's counterattack if I was furious. My husband was something else entirely. He had warned Claire that if she took this too far, he would bury her in legal trouble. And now, it was war. Our lawyer immediately filed a counter-lawsuit for defamation and harassment. He also filed a restraining order against Claire, preventing her from coming near me, my husband, or our home. Then we dug up dirt on her. And, oh, there was dirt. Claire's own skeletons. My husband wasn't just mad. He was determined. He had a private investigator look into Claire. And guess what? She had financial troubles. Big ones. Massive credit card debt, late payments on her house, a failed business. Oh, and that lawyer she had hired? He wasn't a real custody lawyer. He was a cheap family attorney with a history of losing cases. We handed everything over to our lawyer, and that's when Claire's world started to crumble. Claire's last desperate move. The legal battle dragged on for weeks. Claire refused to back down, but she was losing. Then one day my lawyer called. "She's making a deal." "What kind of deal?" I asked, gripping my phone. "She's offering to drop the case if you let her have visitation rights." I left. "She wants what? Visitation rights? Like she was some kind of divorced parent?" "Absolutely not." "No deal," I said. "She gets nothing." But Claire wasn't done fighting dirty. The night she showed up at my house, it was late, nearly midnight. I was exhausted, curled up on the couch when my husband suddenly tensed. "Did you hear that?" A sound came from outside. Someone was at our front door. I froze. My husband moved fast, grabbing the baseball bat we kept by the door. Then we heard it. A voice. "Claire, please," she sobbed. "Just let me in, I need to talk. I just want to see the baby." My blood went cold. The baby wasn't even born yet. She was losing it. And she was right outside my house. The night she broke in, Claire was outside, sobbing, begging to be let in. My husband held the baseball bat, his jaw clenched tight. I had never seen him like this before. Cold, furious, protective. I wasn't sure what scared me more, Claire's desperation or the fact that she thought this was normal. "We're calling the cops," my husband said. I grabbed my phone, my hands shaking as I dialed, but before I could press call, we heard the sound of glass shattering. Claire had just broken our living room window. "She really thought she could take the baby," I screamed. My husband rushed toward the noise, ready to defend our home. But Claire wasn't stopping. She was inside now, standing in our living room, her face pale and wild. "I just want my baby," she cried. "My baby, my baby." I was frozen. She had lost it, completely. My husband wasn't frozen. He moved toward her, gripping the bat tighter. "You need to leave." "No." But Claire wasn't leaving. She lunged for me. My husband moved fast. He grabbed her, holding her back as she thrashed and screamed. I stumbled backward, my breath coming in short gasps. This wasn't real. This couldn't be happening. She was trying to take me down while I was pregnant. That's when the police sirens blared outside. Claire gets arrested. The officers burst in, their flashlights cutting through the chaos. Claire was still fighting, still trying to get to me. "She's mine!" she shrieked. The cops tackled her to the ground. She kicked, she screamed, but it was over. They handcuffed her, dragged her to her feet. I could barely breathe. "She tried to attack my pregnant wife," my husband told them. "You need to take her away." The officers nodded. One turned to me. "Are you okay, ma'am?" I swallowed hard, nodded, but I wasn't okay. I was terrified. Claire looked at me as they pulled her toward the door. Her eyes were blank. "This isn't over," she whispered. Then they took her away. The plot twist no one saw coming. We thought that was the end. It wasn't. The next morning our lawyer called. "You're not going to believe this," he said. "Claire made a call from jail to your mother." "What?" My stomach churned. "She's saying she was set up. That you and your husband tricked her into breaking in so you could have her arrested." My mouth fell open. "What?" "She's also claiming she has evidence that you and your husband are unfit parents. And guess what? Your mother believes her." I almost dropped my phone. No. My own mother was siding with Claire. Betrayed by my own family, my mother called an hour later. "I think you should drop the charges," she said, her voice tight. I nearly laughed. "She broke into my house, she tried to attack me. She was emotional," Mom snapped. "She didn't mean to, she tried to take my baby, Mom." Silence. Then, in a quiet voice, my mother said something that shattered me. "I think she'd be a better mother than you." I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. This was my own mother, the woman who raised me, and she was siding with Claire. I hung up. I couldn't take it anymore. Claire wasn't just trying to take my baby. She was turning my own family against me. The secret that changed everything. That night I cried. My husband held me, whispering, "We'll fight this, no matter what." And we did. But what we didn't expect was the bombshell that came a week later. My father called. "I need to see you," he said. "It's about Claire." His voice was serious. I met him at a coffee shop. He looked exhausted. He rubbed his face and sighed. "There's something you don't know," he said. "About Claire. About why she's doing this." I braced myself. Then he dropped a secret that changed everything. "Claire, she had a baby years ago." I stopped breathing. "What?" "A long time ago," he said, "before she got married. She was young. She got pregnant. Mom made her give the baby up for adoption." I felt like the world was tilting. "She never got over it," Dad said. "She's been obsessed with getting another chance. And now she thinks your baby is her chance." I gripped the table. Claire wasn't just jealous. She was desperate to replace the child she lost, and she wasn't going to stop. Not now, not ever. The truth comes out after my father told me about Claire's secret child. Everything made sense. Her obsession, her rage, her insane belief that my baby should be hers. But understanding her didn't mean I forgave her. It didn't make what she did okay. If anything, it made me even angrier. Because instead of getting help, Claire had decided to ruin my life to fill the hole in hers. And my own mother had helped her. We went to war. Claire was still in jail. The judge denied her bail after reviewing the break-in footage and the CPS report she faked. But that wasn't enough for me. I wanted to make sure she never tried this again. So we pressed every charge we could. Heavy checkmark breaking and entering. Heavy checkmark attempted assault because she lunged at me. Heavy checkmark defamation for the lies she spread. Heavy checkmark filing a false CPS report and the restraining order. We got it extended to 10 years. Claire would never come near me, my husband, or our baby again. But my mother was another problem. My mother, who had defended Claire, suddenly started backtracking. She didn't mean it. She was just emotional. You didn't have to send your own sister to jail. Oh, now she wanted to talk? Now she wanted to fix things? I was done. I told her, "You picked your side, stay there." And for the first time in my life I cut her off. No calls, no visits, no photos of my baby. She had chosen Claire over me. So I chose my family over her. Claire's sentencing. Justices served. Claire went to trial 6 months later. She sat in court, looking pale and not so smug anymore. The judge didn't hold back. "For months you harassed, stalked, and attempted to take a child that was not yours," the judge said, staring her down. "You fabricated false evidence. You manipulated your family, and you broke into a pregnant woman's home with clear intent to harm." Claire started crying, but the judge didn't care. "You are a danger," he continued. "Not just to your sister, but to society. This court has no sympathy for someone who would go to such lengths to steal an unborn child." Then he read her sentence. 5 years in prison, no parole for 3 years. My mother sobbed in the back row. My father just shook his head. And me? I felt free. A new beginning. A few weeks later, I gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby girl. My husband held her, tears in his eyes, and whispered, "She's safe now." And she was. Claire was behind bars. My mother was out of our lives. My father, the only one who had tried to do the right thing, became a loving grandfather. And me? I looked at my daughter and made her a promise. No one will ever take you for me. And they never did. The end.